So it's not, I bet they have it in Belgium. I bet they have it there. Swing by and get it.
If they are, I mean, the ones that have enough intersection, very, very short. Yeah.
If you're out in the hot sun, or you're working really hard,
You kept trying. It's beautiful out there. Yep. Yeah, with
front of it, and I have one of the Eagle poles mounted. It's actually our cover plate, so they don't leave the house where it's gas, which is interesting. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Right, right, yeah.
we get some snow.
So you're thinking of putting it back? Yeah, oh, okay. Yeah.
put a lot of work into that. I'm just a helper, Nancy does, and Karen did the booklet for y'all. It's a great booklet. Man, it's outstanding.
Yeah,
And it's just nice, because you'll meet, you'll meet people here, I'm sure, during the day, but then when you get home, you get to read it. That's what's nice. That is, yeah, it really is.
Rented a car.
yeah.
Put our car on it. We're from California. And then they flew to Atlanta and then to a small airport in Asheville.
Oh, really?
I should do a little research. Who's really good in my area, because
How you doing?
You're Good morning. How are you?
wow.
They got a nice museum
Okay, Joanna.
All right. But I think about the place I want to go someday was Calabash. We're down to North Carolina, South Carolina. It's a big fish place. The restaurants. Yeah, the restaurants. It comes back to Jimmy Durante when he was on television and everybody used to say goodnight, Mrs. Calabash, wherever he started. And that's it's Calabash, South Carolina. Interesting.
See there, they'll bring her back again.
I know, it's been several years now, we had an article about the ladies' night hunting club. It's hunting club, yeah? Boy, that article was pretty, more people want to come with that thing down there. The Art Gun Club, the historic gun club. Had Woodrow Wilson's signature on the wall.
Hi, we got a full We're really, really happy that all of you can make it. This is a very, very special occasion, a very, very special group of people. And I'm so glad Nancy asked me to be part of it. Let me just give you a little background. This picnic was started 5 years ago. Nancy and Dan Adams decided that it would be a really great thing if some of the people from the website could get together and meet each other. And so they arranged to have the first picnic here at the Swag in this absolutely beautiful location. So you can see what has happened since. It's grown. Nancy has to limit it to 60 people. Otherwise, it could easily grow into a convention because so many people would like to come. But really, we want to keep the group small and intimate so that we can all share. So that's how the picnic got started. And of course, we want to thank Nancy. Every year, she goes to all kinds of work to arrange for this. And when you ask her, how can I help, she'll say, well, you give me the MC. I like to talk. And I do. So, you know, she just does it all. So I think, first of all, we've got to give also, I want to thank Karen Godfrey. I don't know where Karen is. She's still outside?
She's outside.
Oh, okay. Karen has been here at every picnic, and she's our official greeter. So we want to thank her, and when we see her, we'll thank her again for being so faithful and being here every year for us. Now, this year's theme is just a little different than what we've done in the past. This year, we are celebrating the angels in our lives. And this chokes me up. The angels in our lives are the people who have been our caregivers, the people who have supported us, the people who have held our hands throughout our journeys. And today, we celebrate them. So, basically, I'll just go over the agenda and you'll have an idea of what we're planning on doing for the next few hours. Between the time we finish up here, we're then going to go around and introduce ourselves. Every survivor will introduce themselves and just give us a brief, short description of your journey with bladder cancer, and I am asking you to keep it to a minute or so, because otherwise it could go on forever. And then we have something special for you to give your caregiver. And so if you would then tell us a little about your caregiver as well. And then we'll go on until we've gone around the whole room. After that, we're going to take some pictures and we'll have a prayer and memory service before we have lunch. After that, we'll all get together and sing the happy dance. I don't know if we have a lot of room for dancing in here, but we'll try. And then after that, we'll separate into our individual groups, depending on what type of diversion you have, or if you don't have a diversion, so that we can just kind of discuss mutual interests or perhaps share with each other. And so that's how the afternoon's going to go. So anybody have any questions yet? Okay. So, all right, we're going to start with introductions, and just so you know how to do it, we're going to have Nancy be the first one. Okay? And we'll start with Nancy, and then we'll just go around the room, okay?
I just want to welcome everybody here. And I'm Nancy, and I'm Valley High Online. I was diagnosed in January of '08, and I took 15 BCG treatments, and my cancer came back. So I went for a second opinion, and I had my surgery with Elio conduit on my back leg in September of '08. So I just celebrated 5 years. And I present my angel to my husband, who took care of me through my surgery, changed beds when my back would leak every night, and helped me change my bag for about a year until I learned how to do it myself, and gave me all the love that I needed for supportive and love. is what I need more than anything.
And live in California, and I was diagnosed with bladder cancer in 2002, and went 8 years with BCG, mitomycin, and all those other things until my bladder got very tired. And 2.5 years ago, I got thrown out, and we had a couch, and I'm grateful for that, for life. And my special caregiver is Pete, who didn't have to take care of me when I was sick, but he sure does now. And he even helps us happy dance, so I'm so grateful to have my sweetheart here.
You know, I also want to thank Pete for all of the work that he's done in writing the song for the Happy Dance, writing the music for the Happy Dance. I mean, he has really done a phenomenal job, and for those of you who haven't heard it before, you're really going to be impressed. So, thank you, Pete.
And I want to thank Karen for the wonderful booklet that all of you received.
Okay, let's just keep going this way.
Hi, my name is Tom Wells. I'm from Long Island, New York. I'll be brief. And if anyone ever says they'll be brief, watch out. I'm a bag man as well. I'll celebrate 3 years in March. Had an interesting year of a case of shingles and a nephrostomy too, but I'm feeling great now and blessed to be here. My caregiver is my wife, Robin. Like most of us, my caregiver is the best, you know. And she not only cares for me, she cares for an 83-year-old mother whom we live with. That's an interesting challenge. She cares for 2 children and no grandchildren yet. We have a business where we transport predominantly elderly and medical transport, so she does a lot of caregiving there. So she's the best as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't trade her in for anything.
NC to distinguish myself from Nancy Parrish. I was Nancy in Virginia, but now I'm Nancy in NC. But anyway, I was diagnosed in 2006, had nearly 3 BCG treatments, and then we reached the point that the doctors could no longer see it. We couldn't tell if there was any reason to look or not, or biopsy. So we said surgery is needed, and I had surgery on February the 15th, 2010, a really lousy Valentine's Day the day before. He's making up for it. Anyway, I had the surgery. I'm 3.5 years out. I have an aortic conduit, and knock on wood, I've done really well with it, and I'm really glad I did it. I'm really glad it's being.
3 years old when I was diagnosed with bladder cancer. That was in 1965, at a time when the surgeon looked at my parents and said children don't survive this cancer. So I am very blessed to be here with all of you today. And I am your token ostomy nurse here. So I'm an ileal conduit. If there are any of us who have ileal conduits, I'm happy to answer any questions when we get into our groups. I have 2 angels with me today. My angels are my mom, this is Shirley, and my mother never flooded my urine when I was 3. And I think her greatest gift to me was just treating me like I'm a little girl. And she encouraged me to go to silver parties and sleepovers and play the flute. So I think that's really one of the best gifts that a mom could ever give. My husband Ross, my other angel, who was brave enough to marry a girl with an ostomy. And he's had lots of ostomy adventures.
South Carolina, which is a one-stoplight town. They don't even need it. It's out in the middle of nowhere. My cancer was diagnosed about 6.5 months ago, and I've been through BCG and results are positive. So I am now I'm classified as a T1 high grade, and so I decided to just
go for the cystectomy and not take any additional therapy. And I was trading off time against low probability cures. And I'll be having my surgery October 14th, about 3 weeks from now. And it'll be in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I decided to go with bag. And I do live alone on a lake, and so I don't know that I have I'll have a lot of different caregivers. But initially, I plan on going after the hospital to a rehabilitation center until I feel comfortable handling things on my own. And as an ex-Marine, I think I'll be able to make it.
And you'll all be getting since
diagnosed with bladder cancer in 2011, and high grade, non-invasive. So far, I still have my bladder and getting BCG treatments now every 6 months. My angel is my husband, Bill. He's just been with me for everything. And but one of the things that he's been most helpful with is that sometimes, as we all know, you have to be so assertive with these doctors. And it's so hard to be assertive when you're a patient. And Bill, you always went into the office and demanded what needed to be done. And it's, for that I appreciate him, and just for everything else that he's done. Pam Hopman, and I was diagnosed in July of 2010 and had my surgery October 6th. I've not had to go through BCGs. I've not had to go through chemo or radiation because the type I had is very rare. It was 3 forms that had morphed into 1, and 2 of those 3 were very aggressive. So we had to go straight to getting a bag lady. I'm getting used to it, but I wouldn't be as progressed as I am today without my angel, Eric Danielson. He's my partner of 17 years now, and he too, when he didn't think I could speak, he spoke for what I needed. He held my hand. He took punches from a doctor at the Cancer Treatment Center. All in jest. But he's helped me with busted bags and changing sheets. So he's my first angel, and hopefully my last.
We celebrated her birthday in the hospital. I have a bag. I'm very happy that I have a bag because as I look back, we've spent a lot of great years since I had my operation. Without it, the doctor told me I wouldn't be here. I grew up not crying. I was one of those families that you didn't really show emotion. My family didn't show emotion. Man, after my operation, I cried like a baby. I mean, for a long time, and it was Lois that helped me put my bags on because I was just too upset to put it on myself, and she trained me because unfortunately, when you get out of the hospital, you forget everything they told you. You forget what the nurse told you. Do this or do that. And when the home health care nurse came to our house and she looked at her chart, she said, "Oh, you have the urostomy. What's a urostomy?" I said, "You're not much help. Go home." So my wife certainly was my caregiver and is. We've been married for 52 years. So my angel is Lois.
And we go around this way, okay? By the way, folks, this is Karen. You all met on the way in. That we wanted to thank you for coming here every year of the picnic and for being our greeter. So I have something special to you for she coming all 5 years and being here
Thank you.
me.
So you feel so warm. Well, before I start, I want to say, please, people, speak up, because it's really hard to hear if we're not really speaking pretty loud. And this is so neat. Little crocheted angel. My story starts back in 2003. And I was perfectly healthy, no problem with me. I had been flying back and forth to see my parents from Florida to Missouri, and all I had was a urinary tract infection. Yeah. So when I was diagnosed by November of '03, I had too many things going on in my life to take time to have bladder cancer. But I soon learned that you can't run from it and you can't hide. So all you've got to do is, okay, what do I do next? I was diagnosed with muscle invasive T2. I did not go through any treatments. I went straight to surgery. I was very ignorant about bladder cancer. I got online. I could find nothing but articles that doctors had written that I couldn't understand. So my doctor and I were pretty good friends before my surgery. I was able to call him, ask him every question that came out. I didn't know I needed a second opinion. He told me that he had trained in Chicago and he could do all three diversions, and I didn't know what the diversions were. So he explained how they worked, and when we went into surgery, I knew that whatever he decided that I needed is what I was going to get. He was going to start possibly with a neo, and if that wouldn't work, then my second choice was the Indiana pouch. And if that didn't work, then I knew I would come home with an ileal conduit. When he did the surgery,
The robotic operation, and unfortunately, when they found out there were some other issues going on, they had to do the OWET. And also found out prostate, it was involved. So anyhow, that's pretty much for me right now, but I do have a special caregiver, and you probably heard this name before, but her name is Connie Francis. Yeah. So actually it's Connie Francis Campbell Jackson, you know. Connie has been with me, this back up, we just got married about 3-4 years ago. Unfortunately, my first marriage didn't work out, and I've lucked out to have a real special caregiver. And she's been a trip, because for changing my bag and so forth, I couldn't do without her. I tried it a couple times, and it's kind of hard a little bit when you're in the mirror trying to get everything set up and everything. With her, it's been a real pleasure, and I have a lot of faith, and I'm always worried about her when she's not around, you know. So anyhow, make a long start. Here's my love, wife and caregiver, Connie.
Hello everyone, my name is Robert Brown. I'm actually from here, grew up here, and this is my wife and my lifesaver and my angel Martha sitting right next to me. I just had surgery, my 6th surgery in May, and so I just had my first 3-month check, so we're just now getting out of the woods with this stuff. Everything that I've heard so far that I could hear sounds like everything that we've been through, so I'm really glad that we're here. And Nancy, is that you? I've never met you, but thank you. I was diagnosed in February of 2011, retired Air Force, 3,000 hours flying A-10 Warthogs, and that's why I really can't hear, but I blame the chemo because that sounds good. And I'd actually gotten into a job after teaching high school. A buddy of mine offered me a flying job, and I thought I'm going to run off and join the circus and go do some training with the military folks again. I got my first training flight on a Wednesday, and the next Wednesday I was in surgery. That's how fast it went, because I had all the initial symptoms without getting into all the details. Came home, talked to Martha on Thursday night driving home from Fayetteville, and she went into full speed, high gear, and got me into the doctor, got the right x-rays, got everything going, and I was in surgery from there. I think 4 surgeries, or 3 surgeries here locally, superficial, BCG, that whole boogaloo. Then we, because it was getting beyond that, we went to Wake Forest Baptist Health down in Winston-Salem. The last one that they did down there last November, the urologist, who was one of their head swamis down there, looked me in the eye and said, "I've never seen this one before." And that's not what you want to hear. Martha never took no for an answer. In that conversation, he was starting to talk about palliative care, and I'm a dumb fighter pilot, so that one went right over my head. And she basically said, "I reject that." So hours and hours on the internet, hours and hours of phone calls, kind of cross-queuing and sifting through the data led us to Sloan Kettering. And they were absolutely remarkable. I pretty much lost everything from the navel down to the fork in the road there. And I'm a bag man as well. Same stuff everybody else has said. If it hadn't been for Martha, first of all, I'd be dead about 3 different times in this process, literally. And she helped me with everything, from the head game to the, the logistics and all that stuff. I can't thank her enough, and she really needs to get, for all of her trouble, some kind of degree in this, because she really had it. The thing about taking notes, she was way ahead of them at every stage. So anyway, we're glad to be here. I'm probably leaving out a bunch of stuff, but I resisted coming into a room full of other people that are in the same boat that I am, because I didn't want to cross that line, because I thought if I don't go in the room, I'm not one of them. But I am, and I'm looking forward to the people that have ileal conduits getting together and talking about how do you do this, how do you do that, and thanks, many thanks. And all I would offer is, if anybody's still got some of these hurdles to go over, don't give up, and never take no for an answer, and keep your chin up. Faith, friend, and family, that's it, period. So thank you, we're looking forward to it.
This is my husband Jeff, he's my caregiver, and I was diagnosed with bladder cancer at the age of 46 in 2010, actually 3 years ago yesterday, and I can tell you all the details, but a lot of it's the same as other people have said, so I just wanted to go a little bit different perspective. I know this is going to sound strange, but I feel like my bladder cancer was a blessing, and it's hard to look at that way when you are first going through it, but being 3 years out, I look at it now as a blessing, that it's been a way that God has used me to help other people. And I've been able to help 4 people since I was diagnosed and went through all mine, and that has blessed me more than anything that I could have ever done in my life. Those 4 people have just recently gone through it, and I've been able to be their caregiver and help their caregivers. And my husband, who I can't say enough about, has been a blessing to their caregivers. So as a team, I feel like we have been able to use this as a good thing. So what you go through, I encourage you to use that to be a blessing to somebody else, because people are scared when they hear this. We're still scared 3 years out, but it's a different scared when you're there. So I encourage you, once you have gone through your difficult time, to use that to help other people. Even if you're not a person that normally would get up and talk in front of a crowd or say it to somebody, I encourage you to do that, because it does help you, and it gives you a purpose for going through what you've been through. So I am cancer-free right now. I did lose my bladder. I have an outside bag. The remarkable thing, at 3 years out, most people don't even know I have it, and the ones that do know have forgotten. They tell me, oh, my sister-in-law said, oh, I forgot you have it. So, I encourage you, if you're just going through this, it does get better. And most people now will say, I have no idea that you went through all that. If they didn't know me, they just need
And I feel blessed to be here, but I feel blessed to be able to help other people. And I strongly encourage you to do that, to look farther at the good that comes from it, and rather than what you look at, because it really doesn't matter what you look like, it matters what's inside. And I wanted to give my...
Can I say two quick things? When we first realized that removing the bladder was gonna be the path we had to take, she wouldn't even discuss an outside bag. It wasn't an option, it wasn't gonna happen. She said, I wanna be sexy for you, and I said, I'm a guy, you can hang it on your chin and you're gonna be sexy.
Thank God I didn't have to.
2 years later, when she first came out of the surgery, she couldn't look at the stoma. And I thought, I'm gonna have to do this the rest of my life. But she quickly took control. 2 years later, it's just part of life. It was the best move for us, by far. The other thing I wanted to say was, if you're a caregiver that's gonna go through this with a loved one and you're gonna go through the surgery, I firmly believe that if by the second day you're not getting dirty looks from them, you're not pushing them hard enough. Because the walking, for everybody we talk to, the walking makes a huge difference. And I'm glad it wasn't me that was going through it, because I know it was hard, but just push them. And you've been a blessing to us, and this whole group has, and we appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Spared my life on many occasions, starting with 2002 when I was diagnosed with pulmonary fibrosis. Doctor said I wouldn't live 6 years, and I'm still here. But I had a low-grade carcinoma the size of a lemon removed in 2004. And my family physician recommended just a good urologist in town, and he was well known, and I took my family physician's advice and went to him, and he removed it, and that was it. But he was not the man to go to, and for my 3-month checkup, I went to somebody else that my family physician recommended. And sure enough, it came back, and when it came back, it was high-grade carcinoma. And he removed it, gave me no advice, no further treatment, and that, back in 2004, there was no group like this. And I really felt lost, and I called up everybody I could find to get some help. I felt like the world was on my shoulders and I was lost. I wish I'd had this group. But if you have a friend that is going through this, tell them to find a urologist, oncologist. Do not go to a plain old urologist. And I finally found a young urologist, oncologist, for the 3rd time it came back. And he put me on BCG treatments. And I was cancer-free then for 4 years. It came back again. But in all, it has returned 5 times. And I've had a total of 38 BCG treatments. But now I've been cancer-free for 3.5 years. And thank the Lord. Because my lungs are in such shape, my lung doctor thinks it's a miracle the fire is out in my lungs.
You may hear that and still will make my voice. I will be brief. I feel, having talked to a number of women here, there's such a common theme. We've all been treated for a lot of urinary tract infections that we never had. And so after, many urinary tract infections I didn't have, I finally got to a doctor who looked a little bit further and found bladder cancer. And I'll cut the story short. I had a radical cystectomy right before Thanksgiving in 2010. I had many complications after that. I have an Indiana pouch, and I have a fabulous life today. An absolutely fabulous life. And this, my angel is not with me today, my significant other of 12 years, Boris, who helped me through thick and thin, but I really feel that everybody in the room who's on this website deserves an angel, because I don't write very often, I don't contribute, but I read it every single day. I'm pretty much a shy person. And what I'm finding today is that one thing we all have in common is we're all pretty articulate about bladder cancer. So I want to thank everybody in the room for being there. You've been like a, like a family for me. Thank you.
And I guess my qualifier is I was diagnosed with bladder cancer in April of 2012. And just quickly, really quickly, my family physician, he said no problem. He didn't know what it was. I went to my gynecologist, who said, "You're seeing a urologist." Saw the urologist. He said yes, with the TURBT, etc. And I noticed in April, the end of April of 2012, that there was a Beacon symposium on bladder cancer the next day. And so I called the urologist, should I go to this? And he wasn't reachable. So I said to the nurse, I said, find out if this is something I should attend. So her answer was, it couldn't hurt. So I went to this symposium, which was incredible. I mean, that Beacon put on with doctors and studies and everything. And I met people who were doing this. And then when I got back, my urologist said, I think you should have a second opinion. And I went to Dr. Mark Schoenberg at Johns Hopkins, and he was incredible. And he basically, we went the chemotherapy route and then the radical cystectomy. I had that in November 5th, right? I got to vote absentee ballot in Washington, D.C., which is where I'm from. And I was there till almost Thanksgiving, where my daughter sprung me, she and her boyfriend, so I could have Thanksgiving at home. And about walking, I walked 5 miles every day around their new facility in Baltimore. And I have an ileal conduit, and I'm back at work, and I'm just so blessed to be with this group. I've learned so much from you, from the Beacon organization and the website. And the ups and downs of the website, I read everything. I believe some of it. I'm a lurker, so my code name is Negotiator, because I do that in real life. But I haven't contributed as much, but you have all contributed to me, and I thank you very much. And so my husband is home, and this is for him. He's been a wonderful caretaker. And my daughter, Vanessa, is here, who's fantastic. And without them, I just couldn't have done it. Thank you. I want to thank all the ostomy nurses, because I had family care come in and they didn't know what a bag was. So I appreciate the ostomy nurses. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm Vanessa, Ellen's daughter. I also work at the Bladder Cancer Advocacy Network. So if you have any questions, wanted to say hello from everyone at Beacon to all of you here. And just really quickly, we have some Beacon swag for Pat. And for Nancy, just as a little kind of thank you for all that you've done for putting this together.
Hello, I'm Phyllis Horn of PJH 273 on Inspire. And this group has really blessed me, especially Nancy. She really was a mentor for me on this journey. I found out I had cancer in 2008 and did BCG for 3 years till the cancer came back. Then in 2011 it came back. I had to have a cystectomy. I'm a bag lady and it works great for me. My husband's been a fantastic caregiver, and a couple of things that he's done that have really helped me is, first of all, he really encouraged me, don't just think you have to do this at home, at the hospital, it's in town, anywhere you need to go, that's where I want you to go. And Nancy had also encouraged me to do that, so I was really fortunate that with that encouragement, I found Dr. Pruthi at UNC, and they took great care of me. So I really give my husband credit for encouraging me to step outside my little comfort zone and get out there and find out what was available. And another thing he did, he and my daughters took great care of me when I was in the hospital, and he went to all my chemo treatments and just did a lot of those things that mean so much to you. But a couple years years ago for Christmas, he gave me a half marathon entry to Flying Pig in Cincinnati. And he trained with me to do that. And even though I could only walk, you know, we got a lot of exercise. So it's been a great year.
I'm Chris Agner, Dr. 406 on Inspire. So I have a neobladder. I had the, you know, the typical rounds of BCG for years and didn't work, and it was time to do something. And I'm a physician, and the outpouring of support from my patients has been very moving. I have 5 sisters. How's that? And I've been helped by so many of the other bladder cancer survivors, particularly Daryl here, who's really helped me kind of work my way through things. I grew up, she has been very, very supportive and loving to me through all this, so she's my angel. Diane.
Yes, hello, my name is Don Cummings. I was diagnosed with bladder cancer in September of 2011. The tumor was removed and I was put on a series of BCG treatments, which didn't work. Then went to gemcitabine treatments and they didn't work. And the doctor wanted to operate, and I pleaded for one more series of treatments, which he gave me, which were the mitromycin. I had 8 treatments of those, and they worked. My last biopsy was benign. I'm on monthly maintenance now for a month, for a year, and hopefully, but thanks for the support of everyone, Nancy from Charlotte, and Nancy from Waynesville, and the groups, because I live by myself, and this is the only support that I've had, and through many, you know, friends and family that I've had support from, but they live many miles away. But my main support has been through the friends and the groups here, and I want to thank all of you very much.
My name's Darrell Lomax. I'm from Concord, North Carolina, and I chose the neobladder back in '08. As Chris said, things aren't perfect, but life is good. And this is my wife of 40 years, soon to be. I don't know if she got enough of me after the surgery, but she's getting ready to retire at the end of the week, so she'll get plenty of me then. So I just want to thank her for all the support she gave me, and also my daughter too.
Hi, my name's Herman Potter. We're from Bristol, Virginia. This is my caretaker, Diane, who without her I couldn't have done all this. 20 years come December. She is my dogmatic. Anytime there's a question, she's the beacon. I read it every day. I'm the lurker, and I can't tell you how much information I've gathered and how much it's benefited me. But the questions, I'll ask her. She finds the answers, and without her, I couldn't do it. So thank you very much.
I'm Faith Metalski, and I'm from Massachusetts, New Bedford, Massachusetts. I was diagnosed in 2009, October, with a large tumor, non-invasive, but some high grade, so I have BCG. I just had my first 1 year all clear, so I'm on a yearly basis, and I feel very lucky. But as my surgeon said, because I had such a large tumor, chances are very good there will come back, but you live with that. This is my caretaker. We will be together 35 years in a couple days, and he's been my rock. And as everyone said, you just, when you're diagnosed, you never hear anything, you can't speak for yourself, and he's spoken for me, and he's cared for me, and laughed with me, and yeah, he's been my
And since then, on and off, I've had about 5 TURBTs. And then BCG and midmyosin did not do a thing for me. I have to give most of the credit to my wife feeding me properly and my naturopathic doctor. And right now I'm on a yearly schedule. My doctor said that the urology physicians have decided, or they're thinking, that what I have isn't really cancer. You know, I was bleeding and everything else was as per normal, but mostly it was surface, it didn't invade the muscle wall. And he says, it's not something that's gonna kill you, but we have to keep an eye on it, you know, that kind of thing. So every couple of years I have a round of bleeding and I go in and get cleaned out. And so far, so good. My wife, Charlie here, has been my guiding light through all of these troublesome times. It's been 14 years and it's just something you have to learn to live with. So, thank you.
I'm Tammy Linden. I'm Tamlin's online. I was diagnosed in 2006. I've had my back and I kept getting new urologists. I finally went to Cleveland Clinic, to a major center, and had my bladder removed, which was probably the best thing I've ever done. Got rid of it. I wanted it out. I'm glad it's gone. I had an Indiana pouch made. Done well with that. Did come back. I had a recurrence, or there was still some in my ureter when they removed my bladder, so they don't really know. But so in 2010, I lost my kidney and a ureter to that, but I've done pretty well since then, and I'm just thankful to be here and to be a part of this community. And if you think you didn't want to be in the room with us, you're going to learn that you love us. Because I couldn't survive without these. As soon as I have a problem, I got to go to my computer and I get on and I write, and then somebody always answers and helps me through. And I'm just very thankful for the community and for what we meet each other, and for Beacon for what they do and help us out. Very thankful for that. And this, my husband Joe will be married 40 years next month, and he's my rock and helped me through so much. And I want to thank God too, because we have a very strong faith in God, and God's just gotten us through so much. And without Him, I would have never survived this, because can be a very anxious person, but God just gives me a peace that passes all understanding, and I'm just so thankful to God for all that He does for me and for my husband, Joe.
I can tell you that I immediately lost my brain. I couldn't think. All I wanted to do was just get it out of there. Fortunately, my husband would not accept that, and he got busy trying to find the best place for me to go for treatment. Turned out, of course, it was Michigan, University of Michigan, which we live fairly close to University of Michigan. So I went there. I had chemo. I had a radical cystectomy. They did find one lymph node in post-op pathology that was positive. So I had a clinical trial with a drug called Sutent. I got through that, and so far so good. It's been 3 years, and I have a checkup coming up October 11th, so I've got a case of scanxiety going. So, but I could not have gotten through this without my husband. Not only did he get me to the right place and to the right doctors, he has been Velcro to me throughout everything. Every treatment, every appointment, every chemo infusion, Mike was there. Thank you, sweetheart. It's been 47 wonderful years, and I hope a lot more.
We met and fallen in love, and she said, I gotta tell you, she went into this long scenario. I said, oh.
I'm a nurse.
Oh, wow. And I said, that's more information than I need right now. As long as we don't have to share the same urinal, I'm okay. So, anyway, to be part of, just to add a little bit to this special group, I know how special it is to Karin, because he wakes up every morning and just has a new, she's just she's alive and just happy to be alive. And she gets on that computer and communicates with all of you, so by proxy, I think I'm kind of part of this family. Now, the song, I just took terms that you guys all sent to Cara, and I did BCG, NEO, that stuff. But she helped me kind of put it in context, so.
And all we had to do is listen to the chorus. He'll sing the chorus first, and if we can just sing the chorus, he'll sing the verses.
And let's dance this year. It's a happy
Well, yeah.
dance. Let's not just look at it. So let's hold hands.
Even if you just dance in your heart,
Yeah,
I'll sing the chorus, because we'll do the chorus between each verse. Let's all do the happy dance tonight. We got the all clear, everything's alright. We wanna tell the world we're better off today. 'Cause where there's a will, there's a way. Let's do that one more time. So let's all do the happy dance tonight. We got the all clear, everything's alright. We wanna tell the world we're better off today. 'Cause where there's a will, there's a way. I'll sing this next verse. Maybe we're just a weird society, worried too damn much about scanxiety. But things aren't always as bad as they might seem, as long as we have the support of our whole team. 'Cause we'll stick together through all the pain. 'Cause there's always sunshine after the rain. We're gonna do our chorus now. So let's all do the happy dance tonight. We got the all clear now, everything's alright. We wanna tell the world we're better off today. 'Cause where there's a will, there's a way. My part now. Now we know there's a power out there greater than ours, and he sees right through our battle scars. And those who are with him today have given us the strength and shown us the way. So hold on to your dreams, as difficult as it may seem. We'll discover we're never alone. We're all part of this team, yeah. Here we go. So let's all do the happy dance tonight. We got the all clear, everything's alright, yeah. hard verse now. And those initials may sound foreign, but they will tell. BCG, NEO, IP, or IC makes us well. Whatever we do, it surely won't be wrong. It helps us live our lives and live it long. And sometimes we all know the bladder has to grow, but it only changes the course. So let's all do the happy dance tonight. We got the all clear, everything's alright. We want to tell the world we're better off today. Where there's a will, yeah, let's all do the happy dance tonight. We got the all clear, everything's alright. We want to tell the world we're better off today. Where there's a will, there's a way. Happy, happy dance tonight. Happy dance tonight.
Don't forget tonight, Pete's gonna be singing at my house, so that you get a real.
Showered upon us not only the rain today, but the special time together, this place, the fellowship, the sharing. Indeed, we are grateful for all the blessings you have given us, and especially for this time together. We're grateful for the food which we're about to eat and those who prepared it for us. Bless it to our use and bless each of us to your service as we reach out to one another and to others. For we pray in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Do you have anything else?
No, we're of our friends this year and years before and such, and it's tradition to just take a moment. And, you know, we have our angels here that we're grateful for, and there's angels other places that are showing us the way, as we said in the song. We'd like to take a moment to remember them. Just a moment of silence.
I guess they're not quite ready, so when they ring the dinner bell, we'll.
Probably been late. Well, that's.
You heard me, you did so well.
And you walk in the room and she's stepping on all her clothes and.
A warm shower is one of the last things.
I know. You can't
Yeah.
teach a 16-year-old.
Next to him.
I mean, she hasn't been taught by 16. I'm not gonna teach her, but I did teach clean the cut. I mean, she wasn't a study trying. Wish she had applied herself more.
Solar lights out, don't put out much. You see where they are, right? A little bit, yeah.